All right, guys. Brand new style of video. You might recognize some of this footage from social media. So some of you know this, but I've got a videographer comes in once a week, a lot of the times, and he will film segments of drills. What I thought would be really helpful would be for us to go through some of like the actual uncut footage together. One, because it's kind of funny, and two, uh, because as coaches, we want to see the process. We want to see how things are put together. And for me, selfishly, this is a great way for me to kind of check on how the coaches that I am teaching and training are interacting with my girls and implementing what I know and my standards. So, Julissa is a current student and college player. She is herself an infielder. And I really like how she interacts with the kids because it's more play, which is something that I will lose track of at times. And it's cool having different coaches because they will interact with the girls a little differently. My job is to make sure that they're teaching the right mechanics or the things that I am preaching, and then also maintaining that standard.
Okay.
So this drill is really challenging, especially for the beginner girls. Again, these reaction videos aren't necessarily to focus on the drills because my social media does a really good job of that. You just kind of have to scroll to find the drills. And in reality, if you want a breakdown of the drills, Defense Club is where I'm going to send everybody. But this YouTube channel, I've really wanted to dedicate it to like the who and the how of running these lessons and putting together all the online things that we do. And this idea to kind of put together all the uncut footage, I'm loving because it's footage that I haven't really seen, just kind of in the background of how I post as much as I do, how like the content all comes together, and my team and I are able to teach kids and also teach people all over the country with like online things. How it comes together is there's just so much video that has to be filmed, and I miss a ton of it. So this is kind of my chance to watch it with you guys. So Carlos is the name of our videographer that comes every week or as often as we can to be consistent. And there's days he definitely probably gets bored of seeing the same lesson over and over. But he comes for an hour and a half around that time, and he'll be there for half of one class and a whole other class. Our sessions are an hour, and each of the sessions are different age groups. That's how we divide them. And the reason why I'm talking about Carlos really is because it's funny that he's focusing on Julissa so much in these segments, because he himself is really creative. He's got a vision for like looking for different athletic movements. So if you're like a coach or instructor or someone that's trying to communicate different aspects of training, it really helps to use a videographer that's used to athletic movement and following the specific type of movement, being able to listen to like my explanation of the drills and then follow that same movement. This specific workout.
Yikes. This is getting personal. So where do we stand?
I'm getting a little nervous that they're going to say something silly and it's going to just be inappropriate for this video. But I think we're good. Obviously, this is a workout that was filmed. She's in a very heavy coat for being able to work out and go. So this is in the winter. Again, we're in Anaheim, California, so it doesn't get that cold. It's kind of funny to me that it looks like she's wearing like 3 layers or something and going. But this is pretty cool because you're seeing we're following Julissa, who's an actual infielder at the college level, and she's going through and running through all of our stations. And this is, I believe, our 7:30 group, which is 12 to 14 and under. So in between like middle school, or like basically middle school age, right? 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. So her being in the station is cool because it's going to up a little bit of the intensity of the individual stations. It's going to provide a little bit of like example for the girls in her group. Looks like I'm wearing the same hat and the same glasses. Awesome. Good pick.
So, first thing, hands up.
At the same
Time, we're just tossing. 6 in a row. It's just like your warm up, right? Then we're going to go shuffle.
So again,
Hands out front.
here's some of the explanations of the drills. This is probably what, if you're watching this YouTube video, you've seen this. And if you haven't seen this, this is on my defense lessons Instagram. Tons and tons of footage on there. Really short, really direct. If you haven't got a short attention span, it's the perfect thing because you can just boom, boom, scroll and get something new pretty much every other day, sometimes every day. People talk about hobbies. Like I was asked, hey, what's a hobby of yours? Kind of recently. One of my hobbies is posting on social media. Probably more of a job in reality, but
Should be nice and easy. It's opening up this way. You go that way to your glove. Yeah.
So moving into, again, what this series is all about, my direction for how these are clipped together was basically the timestamps. Is let's follow the night and see how the lessons all fit together. Every single lesson, we have the same structure. So in essence, like I always put a ton of meaning into like how and why I do things. So when I'm putting together lessons, yes, we've got kind of the silly stations, and yes, we've got drills, but drills are only one part of our lesson. And that might not be something that people see on social media. So parts of our lesson, I had another YouTube video that explained this, but parts of our lesson are, they get there, they play wall ball. They come in and they're getting acclimated to the space, they're saying hi to their friends, and we're trying to emulate or basically I think metaphorically lessons will like simulate how to focus, how to learn. So you're making a choice to be a part of the lesson. Second stage, we do our... I'm just talking through some of these drills because sometimes it hurts me to see all the bobbling of the balls. Obviously, you can see me grimacing in the background. Second part of our lesson is we do updates and take roll. Need to make sure who's there, but updates just to make sure that we're, as coaches, paying attention to them as people and not just as players, understanding their process, what they're coming with. Then we do our dynamic warm-up. We go into station work. So our station work represents our breakdown, like our learning the concepts. Then we go into live. There's a little bit less instruction. There's a little bit less instruction. And we kind of implement the things that we just learned. And then at the end, we really like to do competition and like let the girls play and compete. In lessons, we introduce a ton of training tools. Not a ton, but my favorites. These LiveKey Pro tools are some of my favorites, especially because beginners will roll their wrists or flip their glove and not just have that awareness. It's really like a piece of cardboard in the back of your hand, and it just won't allow them, because of the elastic strap in the front, won't allow them to hide the pocket from the direction of the glove.
How many people? Out of 12 girls. No, out of 6 groups, how many people are going to get 6 in a row? Like 2. Okay? We will circle back. We will circle back. We're going to see. Here we go. Fire those hips 2.
So we're at 1. Fire those hips 2. Good. Reach and throw.
So as you can see, lessons are very cyclical. We're there from anywhere from...
All right, 1. No, that's 2. 1, 2. Fire those hips. Reach and throw. Go. Good. All right, you guys are rotating. So tags, what do you think this circle's for? If the runner's sliding, what's the circle for?
What's the circle for?
Where we want to tag. Straight down, hard tag. So when you set up, I'm going to show you guys first. So watch here. When you set up, we're going to straddle the base. Making sure our toes are behind this line of base. If our toes are out front, what can the runner do? Slide into a curve. So our toes are back here. Knees are bent. We're shifted back to our back leg. Hands out front. Boom. Straight down tag.
All right, so I was saying before, our lessons are cyclical. You saw older girls in some of the earlier clips. These are going to be younger girls. So the drills, we keep the same idea for a lot of the drills, but they're going to be different based on ability of the average person in that class.
2. Oh, give me a hard pass. Start again.
We can also tailor each drill for each group. So since we have regular lessons, our coaches know the girls and know their ability, and we'll kind of match our players together. If you are a coach, you kind of understand that matching ability isn't hard after seeing them play catch, right? So after 5 minutes with a kid, you kind of understand who they would be matched with. A lot of times I get coaches asking me, well, is it hard to deal with groups all the time? I only coach in privates. And there's a lot that goes into each of my answers in terms of, is the coach asking me for their daughter? Is the coach asking me because they want to run a business? What is the, where is the question coming from? And that's going to kind of determine what kind of explanation I give. But in terms of what I think about when I'm in lessons is each group of 2. A lot of time, the most people that will work together is a group of 4 for our lessons, but most normally we do groups of 2.
Special, very important interview. Okay, first of all, you have to introduce yourself. You have to say your first name.
That's funny.
Okay, so you just won, Milana.
The kids in the back.
Milana, you just won a very important competition. Do you know what the name of this was?
She does not know.
So we did good hop, bad hop, knockout. The whole point of this was...
It's funny that it's uncut. This interview is will be kind of long, but the cut one I remember on social.
So you asked Bella to be in this interview with you.
Are you guys friends?
Yes.
How do you know each other?
From softball, we're on the same team.
How long have you played softball for?
3 years. Ever since I was like 2.
2 years old.
6 years of playing experience. At your 6 years of playing experience, what have you learned?
I learned from a lot of people like you and Tony Medina.
What is the biggest life lesson that you've learned from softball?
To like like pull my back straight when I'm catching the ball.
What's the biggest life lesson you've learned from softball?
Don't get down on yourself when like you strike out or miss a ball.
Love that. Perfect. Thanks
Love
for-
that.
Gold.
Perfect. Thanks for
Golden answer, and then Isla in the back doing this.
This drill, this RDL
Love it.
this drill, this RDL drill
every
we've
week
done
for a while now.
like every week for a while now.
The theme of that today is
The theme of that today is
stick
stick it.
in the pocket.
They want that ball to stick in the pocket. What do I mean by that?
Not popping out.
So the hard part about social media, I think about this as I write my workouts for each week is, oh my gosh,
Can you get really,
I don't want to do the same drill over because that's the same content over and over.
go in the same spot
I'll have that thought.
every single
I don't want to do the same drill over because the girls are going to get bored. I don't want to do the same drill over and over because I've done it
That's a difference
so many times
just doing a rep.
because we do kind of the same workout for the week. So we coach
So,
Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 9:30. So that's 12 classes. So we're doing the same lesson 12 times. It gets to be a lot for the coaches, but we get really good at teaching it.
okay, this drill.
But the battle with that is you want the girls to be familiar. So there's a balance.
All the way
When girls are familiar with a drill, they get more confident in the drill. When the girls are familiar with the drill, they understand the adjustments of that specific drill and they start to feel
get low.
what you want them to feel by implementing the drill. So
Forehand.
it's a balance, definitely. Because if the kids are bored, they're not learning.
Hand.
If the kids are bored, they're not having fun.
Keep going. Go, girl.
It's definitely a balance.
Very nice. Jog back. Jog back. Good job. Big left turn that way. There you go. Fingertips up.
Turn that way. There you go.
There you go.
Fingertips
Good.
up. There you go. Good.
Good.
It's funny. I don't know exactly how or when this happened. We have so many 8 to 10U kids. And I think that this happens because 8 to 10U parents aren't afraid or ashamed that their daughter can't catch. They're like,
Step back and
or can't field or can't throw. They're like, yeah, my daughter needs fundamentals. She's a beginner.
go good.
But once you get up like to the higher ages, we have a little bit less kids. We still are doing,
Oh, that's a
we're very busy in each of our age slots, but I think my average kid that comes to lessons is probably 10 because of that, of
nice and hard.
parents of the younger kids just going, yep, she needs it, easy.
Good.
But little do some of the older kids or parents know that like being in and getting quality reps, even after you know how to play catch, is super beneficial.
Good dogs. They're so stiff. Good. Relax your legs.
Good. Relax your legs.
You're standing there like this.
See? You're
Relax your
standing
legs.
like this.
Relax your legs.
Relax
Get
your
out of that
legs.
position.
Relax your legs. Get off
There you
that
go. There
position.
you go. Good.
There you go. There you go. Good.
So I would so Naya, love Naya. Naya actually started as a lesson with me, and she recently just graduated. Got another interview coming up.
My name is
Um,
Cynthia.
Okay, we are here with CJ and Abigail. It's a very
Wish I could pause this, but
CJ
cannot.
did a very hard, strenuous station. What did you learn here?
Station. What did you learn here?
How to catch the ball with one hand.
How to catch the ball with one hand.
Making a good throw to the
Nice.
partner.
How many in a row?
Very nice. How many in a row was your high score?
We did 6, I believe. It's 6 or 5. It was 5.
Thank you for the correct answer. Now, the next time you do this drill, what would be one adjustment that you can make?
To try to get to 8 catches.
Right.
By focusing on the ball and by moving my feet faster.
Okay, last question.
Crustable?
Chocolate Uncrustable, chocolate croissant, or chocolate pancakes?
Chocolate croissant. Croissant.
Answer. Thank you.
That is the correct answer. Thank you.
So silly. A couple things. One, in the last clip, you saw Abigail catching the ball behind her eye. That's something that I've been just thinking about, and as I'm watching it, I'm watching Naya coach, and
We got it.
yes, she had the right point of bending our knees, but I wish she would have talked a little bit more about seeing the back of our hand. So that's the thing with coaching other coaches to see what you see. It's difficult because what she did is not wrong. Also, as I'm watching it and listening to the interview, a lot of these kids can't process more than one adjustment at a time. And sometimes my way and my style is too much for the kids. So that's why I'm so thankful for the other coach's perspective and way of just saying one thing, or smiling and playing with them so they get out of their comfort zone a little and they're able to go for it. Something that I've learned a lot from having other coaches with me.
Good. Yeah, what'd you guys have for breakfast today?
Good. Yeah, what did you guys have for breakfast?
Okay, what about for lunch? Lunch?
Okay, what about for lunch? Lunch?
Okay, for dinner. Have you guys had dinner?
Like this kind of question.
You guys had dinner. You guys this much energy.
I'm probably explaining something to another kid. We're not in our ready, okay, go. We're not in our like hard focus 2 minutes. But like her having this conversation with them makes them more comfortable with her, and then they're gonna listen to her. It's just
Okay, let's focus. Focus back. Oh, we're rotating. Face the ground. What's your face? The ground.
oh,
Let's go.
we're rotating. So I guess I was wrong. This is again good for me to see.
Nervous.
Holy my gosh. I think why this is so getting me so anxious is because Isla's got the mic, and I think Kennedy has a mic too, and the giggling and the bobbling of the ball is a lot. So, how do you plan a lesson with these two, Isla and Kennedy, and then a couple other 10U travel kids that are essentially like in the same age bracket, but completely different focus level, maybe emotional maturity level, and skill level? It's very difficult. So, fortunately, I have help with scheduling, so we've probably made notes into the different classes that fit best with these type of kids.
First base is that way. We have to know where the field is because when we're covering on a steal, we don't want to show our back to the field.
We don't want to show our back to the field.
So my
Heads
reference is
up,
circle.
heads up. So my reference is going to be a circle.
To get back to third base.
We're going to do a little drop step to get back to third base. So we're going to drop step, cover the base, catch, boom, hard tag.
Kennedy and Isla are still mic'd up. It's funny.
You guys will have left
Or one of them is.
We call this RDO rolls.
RDO
What's it
rolls.
called?
You guys are gonna get two
RDO rolls. You guys are going to get two
The next
rolls.
one,
One, where you stick it. The next one, where you get to elbows up. What does stick it mean?
hold it.
What does it mean the ball's doing? Is it rattling around or is it staying in one spot? You want the ball to stay in one spot. So we're going to be here. One. Here. Boom. Get to elbows up. Easy peasy. Relaxation. It's home No, so we're not playing catch. We're doing 1, 2, 3s. Okay, so 1, 2, 3s. We're gonna go here.
Also, the funny part about these videos is it's definitely Instagram versus reality, because I remember some of the clips, and because they're cut up, you don't see the pauses, you don't see my frustration, and sometimes kids not listening. I think it's important to show like the actual footage because coaches might get frustrated and just go, "Oh wow, her kids listen to her, or her kids make adjustments." We try really, really hard to do that,
Okay, 1, 2.
but there's sometimes where it's definitely difficult.
Good. 4 down. Has anybody not used these before? Okay, so this goes in the back of your glove hand, 3 fingers in the elastic.
Of your glove hand,
You just
3
Velcro.
fingers in the elastic.
Okay? Talk about
You
glove
just Velcro.
angles, Alyssa.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Talk about
exactly what
glove
you're talking about.
angles, Alyssa.
Show the
Okay, this is
inside
exactly what you're
part,
talking about.
pocket.
Show the inside part,
Okay,
pocket,
you're gonna be doing knee picks,
to your
hands
target.
out.
Okay, so you're going to be doing knee picks, hands out, turn the ball over, hit elbows up. Simple.
Good.
Okay?
You're good.
Good. You're good.
You're good.
You're good.
Yeah, so these two, even though they're not catching every single ball, they're definitely at a different level than Isla and Kennedy. But notice, they're just in a different group. And they can get the same level of work that they need, or the level of work that they need by being in that different group.
Into your back leg more. There you go.
Sit into your back leg more.
Good.
There you go. Good.
Nice. Good.
Nice. Good.
You're good. It's okay.
You're good. It's okay.
Good. One more.
Good. One more.
Good. Balls.
Good. Balls.
Sometimes workers get to take some live. Gabby is a worker helping out because one of our girls doesn't have a partner, looks like.
Do I look like an infielder?
I don't know, man.
Dude, I don't know, man.
It's not so bad.
I feel really good.
All right, so hopefully this gives you a little bit more of an inside, behind the scenes type of view of lessons. My goal is to just share everything as much as I can, just because this is what the game is about. This is, if I've learned anything from softball, it's that everybody before me has been so generous with information and wanting to pass it on. And this is my way of doing that with uncut
Okay, hold it.
social media videos. So, hoping it helps
Good. Ball goes
one or
in.
two
Ball in the net.
coaches, parents, maybe kids that are nervous to join lessons
Contact.
or try defense club or do something different.
Okay, one.
All these kids are exactly like you.
Want to tag with
All those
two
parents
hands.
are exactly like you, trying to get better.
Hands.
Carlos is a little bored.
If you're standing down there and somebody slides into it, what happens? It hurts your other hand, right? So we're going to try to catch it with one hand.